afternoon and welcome to the 193rd North London Derby here at the magnificent Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You're listening to Paul James on delayed coverage of this massive game today. Tottenham, of course, 5 points outside of Champions League place. Their spotty form is 2 wins in 5 games. They desperately need the win to close the gap on Manchester United and Newcastle. For Arsenal, well, they've only got one blip on their record, and that was against Manchester United. They really have been showing championship form, and with a win today can go 8 points clear, thanks to Manchester United doing them a favour. For Arsenal, well, they've had a wretched record in recent years against Spurs at both at White Hart Lane and at this new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Arsenal have not won away at Spurs since September 23rd, 2015 in the League Cup, which they won 2-1, and only won 3 in the last 12 years in all competition at the home of their North London rivals. Well, the teams are coming out onto the pitch now. We'll just run through the lineups for you, starting with Tottenham Hotspur, who are managed by Antonio Conte. They have Hugo. There's 7 changes basically from their 1-0 victory versus Portsmouth in the FA Cup. And Hugo Lloris returns in goal. He's the captain. Clement Lenglet. Eric Dyer, who's 29 today. Happy birthday to Eric Dyer. Christian Romero. Ryan Sessegnon. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Pape Sarr. Matt Doherty. Son Heung-min. Dejan Kulusevski and Harry Kane, who is 1 goal away from equaling the great Jimmy Greaves record. Essentially, he could break that record today. For Arsenal, who are managed by Mikel Arteta, they have Aaron Ramsdale in goal, Alexander Zinchenko, William Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, who's wearing the captain's armband today, Gabriel Martinelli, Eddie Nketiah and Bukayo Saka make up the Arsenal lineup. The substitutes, starting with Spurs, the substitute goalkeeper is Fraser Forster. They also have Davinson Sanchez, Emerson Royal, Ben Davis, Oliver Skipp, Ivan Perisic, Yves Bissouma, Richarlison and Brian Gill make up the substitutes for the Spurs. For the Gunners, Matt Turner is the substitute goalkeeper, the USA international. Kieran Tierney, Rob Holding, Takiro Tomiyasu, Emil Smith-Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Albert Sambi-Lokonga, Matt Smith, who will make his debut today if he comes on in the Premier League, and Marquinhos is the other substitute. For Arsenal, there were 7 changes from their 3-0 win at Oxford in the FA Cup as well. Our referee today is Craig Pawson. Craig Pawson is celebrating his 10th year in the Premier League this year. Congratulations to him. He's 43 from Sheffield. He's shown a total of 70 yellow cards this season in 17 appearances in all competitions. He's not shown a red card this season in any competition yet. His assistants are Mark Perry, Scott Ledger. The 4th official is Darren England. And Paul Tierney is in VAR, and Konstantin Hazidakis is his assistant in VAR. So let's hope that we don't need that today. I know in recent games it's come into effect, especially in the Leeds and Villa game. Right now, the referee have got the players just gathering around the centre circle. Spurs, both teams wearing traditional colours. Spurs in their famous white shirts, blue shorts, and white socks. For Arsenal, their famous red and white shirts, of course. Well, despite this wretched record at Tottenham, 3 wins in the last 12 years in all competitions, the difference between winning the championship and just qualifying for Champions League are quite often pendant on records like that being broken. Well, the Arsenal team gathering together, and they're just doing their final preparations, gearing themselves up, if you will. And we're almost ready to get underway here. And so much is surrounding this game. Spurs can make a huge impact into qualifying for Champions League with a victory. and also put a dent in their North London rivals' title ambitions, Arsenal can go 8 points clear and put a dent in Tottenham's Champions League aspirations. So this really is a special match. 193 matches, of course, between the two we're underway here between the two teams, and Arsenal have won 80 of those. Tottenham have won 61 and 51 draws. First meeting was in December 4th, 1909. Woolwich Arsenal 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. 18,000 at the Manor Ground in Plumstead that day. The goal was scored by Walter Henry Lawrence. Of course, the teams have met more than this before. Before the Football League was created, in the United League, the London League, and the Southern League. They've actually met each other a total of 207 times. So there's a throw in here, almost on the halfway line, to be taken by Højbjerg. It's thrown long. Just cleared away there is Ben White, just hacks it out of play. And the throw in again, taken quickly. And it goes all the way back to Eric Dyer, celebrating his birthday today, of course. Lenulé just slips the ball over to Sessegnon. Sessegnon just can't get it past Granit Xhaka. It's going to be a throw into Spurs again. Sessegnon takes it quickly, drops it back to Lenulé, and he drops it back to his captain, Hugo Lloris. Lloris will just get Spurs started off from the back, and it's Son. Son plays the ball to Sessegnon. Sessegnon racing forward now. He's got Kane up there with him. Here's Sessegnon. And it's a good block by Thomas Partey, and it's going to be a throw-in now to Spurs. Ryan Sessegnon takes the throw-in, drops it back to Lenulé. Lenulé gives it to Dyer. Back to Lenulé. And he plays the ball out to Sessegnon again. Back to Højbjerg. Højbjerg, infield to Sarr. Sarr just plays the ball out wide there. And it's back now. It's back now with Romero. Romero just knocks it back to Højbjerg. And he drops it down to Lenulé. And it's back with Højbjerg again. Højbjerg tries to go long, looking on the far side there for Doherty. He was not able to find him. Arsenal clear up at the back. And it's just knocked back by Xhaka. Xhaka back to Gabriel. Gabriel just slips the ball out on the far side to Zinchenko. There's a foul on the Ukrainian international by Doherty. And it's going to be a free kick, level with Arsenal's own penalty area. Well, Son today, if he is to score today, by the way, would move him up to second in the Premier League scoring charts for Tottenham Hotspur. So, I mean, Son has had a mixed season this season, it has to be said. He will do his confidence a world of good, of course, to score today against the North London rivals. 42% win chance for Spurs, 30% for Arsenal, 28% on a draw. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's back now with Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale plays it out to Partey. Partey over on the far side to Xhaka. Xhaka to Zinchenko. Zinchenko just pulling back. Plays it back to Xhaka in the middle of the park. What's he going to do with it? The Swiss international plays it to Odegaard. Odegaard down on this near side to Ben White. He's got Saka up with him. Here's Saka now for Arsenal. A fine challenge there by Højbjerg, but it still goes back to Xhaka. Xhaka on the far side now. Cutting inside there is... Oh, and the shot is blocked by Martinelli. Martinelli's shot there just blocked, and Spurs just trying to move away now. And just picking up the ball there is Kane inside his own half. That's a wonderful ball by Kane as he plays the ball to Sessegnon. Sessegnon, Spurs on the break here. He's got Son in the middle. The cross comes in, but it's comfortably dealt with by Gabriel. He plays the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw-in just a couple of yards away from the corner flag. The ball was a disappointing one by Sessegnon, but that really was rather a bright opening there for Spurs. Sessegnon now will take the throw-in. He's actually just moving away from the corner flag. Takes the throw-in quickly. Here's Sessegnon. Gives it to Kane. Kane over on the far side there to Lenulé. Lenulé back to Dyer. Dyer played across to Romero. Romero just holding the ball up. He's in the centre circle, just inside the Spurs half of the field. It's played out on the far side there to Doherty. It's back with Doherty now. He just plays the ball down back to Dyer. Dyer just plays the ball to Lenulay. Lenulay tries to find Sessegnon again, but he's under pressure from Saka and he's dispossessed. And here's Odegaard now. Thomas Partey breaking over the halfway line. Thomas Partey slips it to Odegaard. Odegaard, he's got Ben White alongside him. There's White. Good challenge. Wow, that's a fine challenge by Sessegnon. Puts it behind for the first corner of the game. It goes to Arsenal, but a good challenge. And already this North London derby has got both sides in a very attacking mind. Sessegnon already tried to stamp his authority on this game. He's been involved a lot early on, and Bukayo Saka now will come over to take the corner. Saka, they've got players in the middle. Saliba, Xhaka, Partey, Martinelli, they're all in there. Xhaka looks like he may try to in-swing this. And he's got his arm in the air now. Xhaka with the corner. Swings it in, and there's just chasing in there was Partey. It's headed out and hooked away by Doherty, and the ball is played out onto the far side to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka cuts inside, plays it to Ben White. White, long ball over on the far side, looking for Gabriel, not able to find him. It's headed on by Partey, goes back to Zinchenko. Zinchenko just moving the ball back now. Spurs just trying to press Arsenal back. Here's Thomas Partey. He's almost on the halfway line. Thomas Partey's ball is a disappointing one, and it's comfortably dealt with at the back by Romero. And Lenulay there, and Lloris is in trouble, and the ball is bouncing around because Lloris just didn't clear it properly. Here's a real chance for Nketiah! Good save! And it comes back now there to Nketiah, back to Martinelli. Odegaard. That mistake by Hugo Lloris has put a lot of pressure on his defence. Sessegnon clears the ball. It's picked up by Kane, who plays it back to Dyer, but that required a good save from Hugo Lloris from Eddie Nketiah. That's the first chance of the game, the first clear chance. But the save had to be made really due to the error by Hugo Lloris. There's a foul on Doherty. It's going to be a free kick. But it started there. He just didn't get the ball away quick enough. Fortunately, it did bounce to Lenulay, whose clearance was blocked by Odegaard. And Martinelli just played it over the top of his head played the ball over the top of his head to Nketiah. Nketiah's finish, not the greatest, but it's still a good save by Hugo Lloris. And Mikel Arteta considering that a chance missed. And here's Kulusevski. Kulusevski played the ball forward to Kane. Kane looking for Son. Son. He's mugged really there. And Arsenal will attempt to come away now with Martinelli. Martinelli slipped inside here to Saliba. And here's Partey. Partey played down on this near side to Ben White. Ben White has got Bukayo Saka ahead of him. He finds him. Saka may go back to White. Indeed he does. White's cross is disappointing. It goes over the top of the crossbar, and it will be a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur as Mikel Arteta attempts to calm his players down. We have 8 minutes gone here, and it's a very lively start at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Tottenham 0, Arsenal 0. You are listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports, Turton Talks Football, and Storm FM. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. Here's Granit Xhaka, gives it to Odegaard. Odegaard just slips the ball on the far side to Martinelli. Martinelli dancing inside there, he was blocked. He goes down, but I don't think he's going to get a penalty from that. And here's Gabriel. Slips it to Thomas Partey, back to Odegaard. Odegaard just looking for what the options are. Well, he plays it inside to Nketiah, who just slides the ball out to Zinchenko. Zinchenko just pulls the ball back to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka now. And slides it to Partey, gets it back. What's Granit Xhaka going to do? Spurs have got almost every man behind the ball besides... that's a foul, surely. Spurs have got almost every man behind the ball besides Kane. And there's a foul there on Eddie Nketiah. Well, tackle there was a late one by Romero. He tried to go for the ball, but it was more like a forwards tackle. Craig Pawson chooses to keep his book in his pocket as we approach the 10-minute mark here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. No goals as of yet. And the free kick is going to be taken by Martin Odegaard. It's a fairly high line by Tottenham. We're just going to see, this is probably just going to be lifted in as Hugo Lloris attempts to organise his defence. Sarr and Kulusevski are in the wall. Odegaard may try to strike one from here. It's about 30 yards out, 30 yards out, but let's see what he does. He lifts the ball in, and it's a header by Partey, but it's just over the crossbar, and it'll be a goal kick to Arsenal. He just lifted the ball in there. Thomas Partey, about 8 yards out, just heads the ball over the crossbar. Not able to keep the ball down. It's a free header. Well, Spurs, some pretty spotty results lately. They are just coming off the back of a 4-0 win over Crystal Palace, but they did lose 2-0 at home to Villa, got a draw at Brentford 2-2, salvaged the 4-3 win at Leeds at home, and Liverpool they lost at home 2-1. So for Arsenal, well, of course, we all know they've been undefeated practically all season. Only their loss to Manchester United 3-1. It's their only blip on their record this season. And of course, they've got their defence has been outstanding with a measly 0.82% goals allowed per game. Incredible for Arsenal as they really start to show some of the vintage Arsenal. That's one in midfield that time. There's a handball on by Partey there. That'll be a throw-in. That might be the first booking of the game. Romero and Højbjerg. Højbjerg just putting Romero's hand down there as he started waving his hand. Smart move by Højbjerg. I don't believe referees like that very much. And yes, it's a handball, and it quite possibly could be a yellow card, but that's for the referee to decide. It's going to be a free kick. And standing over this one, looks like it's Romero. And it's just over the halfway line. Just plays it short, and he decides to go to Sarr, who slips the ball back to Lenglet. Lenglet down to Ryan Sessegnon, who goes back to Lenglet. Lenglet goes all the way back to Hugo Lloris in the Spurs goal. He launches it out, it's a flick on by Kane. Well, Kulusevski's offside, but he was almost in there. Arsenal take the free kick quickly. And it's down now with Bukayo Saka, who's moving forward. Ben White. And it's given to Partey. Partey over onto the far side to Zinchenko. Zinchenko slips the ball to Martinelli. He's got options in front of him. It's back with Zinchenko. Zinchenko plays the ball down on this side to the number 12, Saliba. It's just dispossessed now. Spurs moving forward. Here's Harry Kane. Kane, long ball on the far side, looking for Kulusevski, but following that is Zinchenko, and he defends that well, knocks it back to Gabriel, and Arsenal can move forward now. And there's Xhaka. Xhaka over on the far side to Martinelli. Back to Zinchenko. Xhaka. Back to Thomas Partey. Partey almost dispossessed there, but keeps possession. Here's Partey. Plays the ball long on the far side, and Xhaka's away. Bukayo Xhaka's away. He's got space in front of him. Xhaka cuts inside to the penalty area. Swings the ball across. Oh, and it's an own goal. It's an own goal. It's knocked in by Eric Dyer. And, well, how unfortunate for him on his 29th birthday. But Arsenal take the lead on 14 minutes. It's an own goal. Well, the pressure has finally told. Arsenal have definitely been on the front foot in this first half. Let's look at this again. The ball is played out to Dyer. He's most definitely onside. There's no issue there. To Saka. Saka just gets the ball across here. Sessegnon didn't really get close enough. Actually, it's not Dyer. My apologies. It actually comes off Hugo Lloris. It's an own goal by Hugo Lloris. And Saka just cuts inside, and yes, it's Hugo Lloris who's not able to keep a hold of that cross, and it bounces off him and goes in the net. Well, you'd expect Hugo Lloris to do better. That is a very, very sloppy mistake. Well, it just comes in and, well, he didn't catch it. I don't know whether he was unsure about whether he was going to catch it or palm it away, but instead it bounces off him and goes into the net, and Arsenal have a lead. Well, Hugo Lloris, quite disappointed in that, I would suspect. Spurs get the game underway, and Arsenal are in the lead by a goal to nil. 15 minutes gone, and a Lloris own goal is the difference in this one. And it's back now with Kieran Dyer. Dyer just slips it out to Lenulay. Lenulay knocks it back to Højbjerg. Spurs now are going to have to move forward to try to get back in this game. Here's Sarr. Sarr over the halfway line. Well, he's got options on the far side. It's Doherty. Doherty slips it back to Sarr. Sarr just plays the ball in the middle to Son. Son, and just down on this near side to Lenulay. Lenulay gets the cross in, but it's too close to Aaron Ramsdale. It's his first real touch of the game for Aaron Ramsdale. And we've had 16 minutes gone. Spurs have definitely been on the back foot in this first half. At home in a North London derby, that's not where you want to be. Here's Thomas Partey. Partey slips the ball across to Ben White. As the Arsenal fans in jubilant mood right now. Oh, the ball by Partey was looking for Odegaard, but it went out of play. It was a disappointing one. And Spurs will take the throw in. Here's Lenulay. Lenulay drops it back to Dyer. Dyer to Sarr. Sarr just moving away from Nketiah and slips it to Romero. Romero. Lenulay just lets it go through his leg to Højbjerg. Højbjerg slips it back to Lenulay. Sarr. To Kane, back to Sarr. And it goes across to Dyer. Dyer tries a long ball. Oh, he's found Sessegnon. That was a superb ball. Sessegnon, here's Son with a chance. Super save by Aaron Ramsdale, and that's Spurs' best chance of the game so far. A wonderful ball through there by Sessegnon to Son, but a great save by Ramsdale. Spurs keep possession. It's back with Højbjerg. And it's out on the far side to Lenulay in an advanced position. Here's Ryan Sessegnon. Back to Lenulay. Sarr. Sarr under pressure there by Nketiah, but he just slips it back to Dyer. Dyer to Lenulay. Well, that was a great chance for Son, but superb goalkeeping from Aaron Ramsdale maintains Arsenal's lead. Sarr out on the far side to Doherty. Doherty. He's got Kulusevski over there. Kulusevski coming over, but a good challenge there by Zinchenko. Actually played it off Kulusevski to be a throw into Arsenal. And you can see it here. It was a wonderful ball by Dyer to Sessegnon. Sessegnon then played an equally wonderful ball through to Son, but a fine save by Aaron Ramsdale. Here's Odegaard now for Arsenal. Tries to find Saka. It was behind Saka and it's intercepted by Højbjerg. Højbjerg gives it to Sarr. Sarr just over the halfway line. Long ball again looking for Son, but Gabriel was awake to it that time. And here's Odegaard now for Arsenal. Odegaard slipped over to Alexander Zinchenko. Zinchenko over the halfway. Well, he's actually level with the halfway line now. And he slips it back to Thomas Partey. Partey. Arsenal really do look the part in this first half. They're functioning very, very well. Here's Martinelli. Martinelli. And Martinelli is dispossessed by Doherty. And he tries keeping the ball in play, does Doherty. And the ball now is with Sarr, and he gives it back to the goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. Hugo Lloris plays it out there looking for Sessegnon, but Sessegnon is dispossessed and Nketiah goes down. The referee says play on. Nketiah fighting to win the ball back. Here's Saka. Saka now pulled back to Nketiah. Nketiah plays it across, and once again there's panic in the Spurs defence, but they do get it clear. But Arsenal are back on the attack with Odegaard. Odegaard gives it to Partey. Partey's ball is a disappointing one, but Arsenal still maintain possession. Here's Thomas Partey. Partey to Odegaard. Odegaard out onto the far side to Zinchenko. This is good work and sustained pressure by Arsenal. Zinchenko gives it to Partey. 20 minutes gone. Spurs 0. Arsenal 1. 193rd North London derby. Here's Zinchenko. Zinchenko out on the far side to Martinelli. Spurs pressing Arsenal back a little bit here. And here's Saliba. Saliba plays the ball forward. He's got Saka up there. Watching him is Ryan Sessegnon. Saka's first touch wasn't great. And it's played off. Lenier. Lenier plays it off Saka. It's going to be a throw into Arsenal. Just looking again at Saka's ball across, gave it to Nketiah, and again that ball across the 6-yard box. Unfortunately for Arsenal, there was no advancing players there into the 6-yard box. They might have had a tap-in. Here's Sarr. Sarr goes back to Doherty. Doherty back to Romero. Romero just played the ball right across the middle. That was a dangerous ball to play. Son picks it up though and plays it back to Lenier. And it's picked up by Kulusevski. He's being held, surely. Son picks the ball up. The referee says play on. He's played the advantage, but he did acknowledge the foul. Here's Kulusevski. Kulusevski to Doherty. Doherty on the far side. Let's see if he can get the ball into the middle. Doherty pulled back to Sarr. Sarr to Højbjerg. Højbjerg about 30 yards out. Tries a shot. It's blocked by Partey. Partey then it's gone back to Martinelli. Martinelli gives it to Zinchenko. Zinchenko attempting to beat 2 Spurs players. He does. He's being held there. The referee just plays on. Martinelli slips the ball over to Partey. And Nketiah now plays the ball into the middle to Ben White. Ben White down on this near side to Saka. Saka, seems to have a free roll at the moment. Here's Odegaard. A long way out. Odegaard with a shot. Super save by Lloris. Well, it's sort of making up for the own goal there, the error earlier on. Odegaard, nobody closing him down. It was too easy for Odegaard. Nobody closing him down. Struck the shot. Super save by Hugo Lloris to keep it at just 1-0. But Arsenal are picking out Spurs' defence at ease in this first half. It's going to be a corner. And I suspect it will be Saka. I just can't see who it is. It is Saka. And Saka will probably in-swing this one. Already he's causing havoc in that Spurs defence. Saka really is a pleasure to watch. And he swings it in. And there's Partey coming in with the header, but it's just cleared away by Dyer. It's with Kulusevski now. He's trying to get the ball out of the penalty area. He only succeeds in knocking it out for a throw-in level with the Spurs penalty area, and going over to take it is Thomas Partey. So there's a booze ringing around the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Thomas Partey ready to take the throw-in. The Spurs fans not pleased here right now. They feel that Thomas Partey is not taking this throw-in quick enough. Thomas Partey finally does throw in. It's a long one. Gabriel's, Romero had his hands all over Gabriel. It comes back to Partey. The cross is a disappointing one. It's headed away by Kane. It's knocked back in by Xhaka and headed out one more time. And here's Ben White almost on the halfway line. And he tries to play the ball forward, but Spurs intercept. And here's Son. Well, he runs the ball out of play to Son. It's going to be a throw-in. Antonio Conte trying to motivate his players. They've really had difficulty in creating chances in this first half. Has to be said that only real chance came to Son. Here's Partey. Zinchenko to Martinelli. Been quiet over on that far side so far, but Martinelli cuts inside to Zinchenko. Zinchenko back to Partey. Partey plays it out to Bukayo Saka. Saka gets the cross in, and there's Martinelli, and the header by Nketiah, but he just wasn't able to direct it goalward. Comes back out to Partey! Oh, it smashes against the post. What a superb volley, but it's smashed against the post by Partey. And what? That really deserved a goal. That would have been one of the goals of the season. Thomas Partey caught it sweetly. Hugo Lloris was beating all ends up. And, what a super... Oh, it rattled the the post. You can see the post shaking there. Oh, Arsenal come so close to extend their lead. They've had a few chances in this first half, and they're back on the attack now. And it's Saka again. This time he's fouled, surely. And it's going to be a free kick. But Saka has been so impressive in this first half. He's been a real threat down that right-hand side. And he's just down at the moment. You are listening to Alternative Commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports, Talks Football and Storm FM. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1. And you can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. And, if Spurs don't start to try to get back into this game, eventually Arsenal are going to take some of these chances. They've hit the post, they've forced a good save out of Lloris, and they have been very much at their best in this first half. Free kick is probably going to be taken, I was going to say to be taken by Xhaka. It's not, it's going to be taken by Odegaard. It's swung in. Headed away by Ramiro, but it's only back out as far as Odegaard, who gives it to Bukayo Saka. Just shoved over by Son. The referee says no foul. Here's Sarr. Sarr just slipped the ball to Højbjerg, who knocks it back to Lenglet. And now here's Ramiro. Ramiro just looking for options. The Spurs crowd trying to urge Spurs to get forward and create some chances. They haven't done enough of that in the first half. Here's Lenglet. Lenglet has got Ryan Sessegnon, probably been Spurs' best player so far. And it's back with Sarr. Sarr plays the ball over on the far side looking for Doherty. Good header won there by Zinchenko. And Martinelli attempted to break away. Martinelli claimed he was fouled, but the referee says no. Spurs have it with Lenglet, and it's back with Sarr. And here's Son. Son drops it back to Lenglet. Spurs now attempting to try to get back into this game. It's out to Doherty on the far side. Doherty slips it back to Højbjerg. Højbjerg, it's back with Dyer in an advanced position. Dyer slipped forward, and it's Højbjerg. And it's with Kane. Kane out on the far side to Doherty. Kane should be in the box himself, not swinging the cross in, but his cross is blocked by Xhaka. Here's Sarr. Sarr down on this near side to Lenglet in a really advanced position. Lenglet tries to cross. It's headed away by Gabriel. He's actually able to find Thomas Partey. Partey is dispossessed though. It's Sarr now for Spurs. And it's Sessegnon back with Sarr. Back to Sessegnon. He beats Saka that time. Sessegnon just trying to... It's a good challenge by Eddie Nketiah. Just knocks the ball out of play. And Sessegnon attempted to try to get the cross in there. Sessegnon will take the throw in, level with the Spurs 6-yard box. The Arsenal 6-yard box. Throws it back to Lenglet. Spurs struggling to break down this Arsenal defence. Here's Son. He goes all the way back to Hugo Lloris. The pressing by Arsenal is forcing Spurs back. And at the moment, Arsenal really are owning this first half. And here is Højbjerg. He plays it over across to Ramiro. We have 28 minutes gone. It's Spurs 0, Arsenal 1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 6 attempts on target. 6 attempts for Arsenal, 2 for Spurs. Here is Saka. Saka in the penalty area here. He's just trying to get away from Lenglet. Good work by Saka. He gets the cross in, but it's comfortably dealt with by Ramiro, and Spurs clear it. Only the one shot on target for Spurs. It was saved, of course, by Aaron Ramsdale from Son. And Spurs, of course, have had one shot off the crossbar. Off the post. Forced a good save from Hugo Lloris. And Arsenal from Odegaard. And Arsenal really have dominated this first half so far. Here's Partey. Partey plays the ball across to Zinchenko. I'll go over some of the earlier scores for you in just a moment. Here's Zinchenko. Thomas Partey. It's out on the far side to Ben White. Ben White plays it to Saka. Saka inside, not able to find that. Zinchenko trying to win the ball back. And he's been successful. Here's Saka again. He just knocks the ball back to White, who then heads it down for Saka. Saka looking for Nketiah. The ball was blocked. Arsenal maintained possession though with Odegaard. Slipped to Zinchenko. Back to Partey. Partey. Build up slow by Arsenal. And Odegaard gives it to White. White tries to get the cross in. Oh, he finds Nketiah, but his first touch isn't great. Nketiah keeps the ball in play, though, and he gives it back to Ben White. And here's Odegaard just dancing around on that far side. But, cutting across and dealing with that well is Højbjerg. Dispossesses Odegaard there, but ball finds Kane. His first touch wasn't really good, but Kane does maintain possession. He's inside his own penalty area and tries to clear the ball. Arsenal pick it up in the midfield, though. And it's Thomas Partey now. He's got a lot of space in front of him. He plays the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard out to Saka. Saka back to Ben White. White. And it's played back to Partey. Partey to Gabriel. As Arsenal continue to own possession in the Spurs half of the field. And Martinelli's first touch was a disappointing one there now, but Arsenal win the ball back, and it's Gabriel again, and Martinelli will have another chance now. He's out in front of Doherty. Martinelli's just dropped back to Zinchenko. Zinchenko goes all the way back to the halfway line, and it's Ben White. White goes back to Saliba. Saliba down on this near side to the impressive Saka. But Ryan Sessegnon gets in the way of that one and wins the ball back for Spurs. Here's Lenglet. Can Spurs keep the ball for a little while here? And having said that, no, they gave the ball away. And here's Gabriel. Gabriel plays the ball forward to Nketiah. Nketiah fouled, surely. Foul by Romero there. I don't think he can argue with that. It was a very late challenge. Free kick to Arsenal. Scores from earlier on today. Chelsea 1. Crystal Palace 0. Kai Havertz on 64 minutes. Newcastle stole a goal in the last minute. They beat Fulham 1-0. Alexander Isak with the goal there. And that puts Newcastle back into the top 4. And the free kick now is about 35 yards out, which Odegaard will take. Partey's in there. Saliba's in there. Saka's in there. Xhaka's in there, all the usual suspects. And they're just, Spurs just having a high line right on the edge of the penalty area. Let's see if Arsenal can break down the Spurs defence once more. Here's Odegaard, it's swung in, headed away by Dyer. It's headed back into the box, but Lloris comes out and takes care of that situation. Plucks it out the air and launches the ball out quickly. And Kulusevski now has got the ball, but his first touch is disappointing. He does keep the ball in play, but he's dispossessed by Ben White. But actually the linesman had adjudged that ball had gone out of play. It's going to be a throw into Arsenal. It's taken quickly by Ben White. Ben White just plays the ball out into the middle to Gabriel. Gabriel goes over to Zinchenko now on the far side. 12 minutes to go till half-time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Tottenham 0, Arsenal 1. I'm your alternative commentator, Paul James. You are listening to alternative commentary of the North London derby. It's delayed coverage, so thank you very much for joining us today for this match. You certainly tuned in to what has been a very entertaining first half, albeit dominated by the Gunners. And here's Partey. Partey is dispossessed by Sarr. But Sarr is in turn dispossessed by Granit Xhaka, and Xhaka is fouled. And there's foul in the centre circle there on Granit Xhaka. It's going to be a free kick to the Gunners, and Thomas Partey will take it just inside the centre circle, actually. Takes it quickly and drops it back to Saliba, and Saliba gives it to Zinchenko. Zinchenko on the far side to Martinelli. Martinelli inside there to Xhaka. Back to Zinchenko. And the referee has blown up for the foul on Martinelli and a yellow card to Kulusevski. He gets the first yellow card of the game. Well, it was a late challenge. It really was a forwards challenge. You can see it here. Oh, it's very late. And actually, it seemed to flash the card to Kulusevski, but the foul was by Romero. So I thought it's going to be Ramiro who goes into the book. For a moment, I thought he flashed the card at Kulishevsky, but it's Ramiro who goes into the book. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Just about midway inside the Spurs half of the field. And Zinchenko was going to be taken, but it's just moved away from Zinchenko, and Gabriel has taken it. Just dinks the ball forward, and Nketiah was almost in there. And Hugo Lloris just picks up the ball. Lloris is waiting to clear it. Well, Nketiah is not really doing anything wrong. He's on the edge of the penalty area. Hugo Lloris just launches the ball downfield, and it's just headed on one by Saliba. And here's Saka. Saka now has got time in front of him, gives it to Odegaard. Odegaard with the shot, and it's 2-0. Well, Odegaard from all of 23 yards out struck the shot, and it went straight into the bottom left-hand corner of Hugo Lloris's net, and Arsenal double their lead. And you have to say they thoroughly deserve it. And with 10 minutes to go till half-time, it is Arsenal 2 up at Tottenham Hotspur as they go about destroying the miserable record they have in the last 12 years away to their North London rivals. Saka just pulled the ball back. It was a good 23, 25 yards out. Hugo Lloris had a clear view of it, and you have to say that perhaps maybe he should have done a little better. And he probably realises, well, yes, he probably realised with his reaction that he probably should have done a little better with that. It really wasn't struck with that much pace. And Arsenal are 2 goals to the good. And, well, they've been dominant in this first half. Spurs haven't been in the game. And you look at the Arsenal fans there, they're delirious because they know this is a step closer to getting their hands on the Premier League title for the first time in 19 years. And, well, Harry Kane just trying to motivate his team, but already Arsenal are back on the attack and Spurs are on the defensive. Martin Odegaard on 36 minutes, doubling the lead for the Gunners. And it's back now with Hugo Lloris. And out on the far side to Doherty. Doherty, let's see what he can do. Plays the ball forward, but once again, Arsenal just pick up the ball with ease. And Partey now gives it to Martinelli. And it's back to Xhaka. Xhaka's got Zinchenko on the far side. Let's see what he can do. Zinchenko pulls it into Martinelli. Martinelli back to Partey. Martinelli goes back with Thomas Partey, and it's back with Granit Xhaka. Goes all the way to Gabriel. It's now with William, and Spurs have to try to get themselves in this game because this is threatening to get out of control and become quite embarrassing for the home team. Odegaard. It's back with Thomas Partey. And Partey just drops the ball to Gabriel. And it's back to Saliba. Saliba back to Partey as Arsenal just knocking the ball about. It's almost like a training exercise for them right now. Thomas Partey down on this near side to White. Saka involved in both goals, by the way. It's absolutely impressive. He has been, in the first half, for me, been Arsenal's best player so far. Here's Son. Son is almost dispossessed, but he keeps it. Son plays the ball forward, looking for Kane. But it's just not found him. And Arsenal, once again, dispossessed Son. And they're breaking forward. And Arsenal almost get in there with Bukayo Saka. Saka's first touch, though, was just a bit too hard, and it went straight through to Lloris. Here's Sessegnon now for Spurs, midway inside his own half. Once again, there's another turnover by Tottenham inside their own half. Far too many of those in this first half. Partey back to Ben White. Ben White knocks the ball back to Saliba. Saliba to Zinchenko. 53% possession, 8 attempts by Arsenal, only 2 by Spurs. They've really only had 2 shots on Spurs, and only 1 on target. And they've been very economical with the ball as Arsenal. Here's Kulishevsky on the far side. Kulishevsky just knocks the ball back to Doherty. And here's Sarr. And Sarr gives the ball away. And once again, Spurs give the ball away cheaply. And here's Zinchenko. Zinchenko has been put under pressure by Doherty. Slips it back to Gabriel. Gabriel clears, and the ball comes off Ramiro and goes out of play for an Arsenal throw. And Antonio Conte looks extremely upset right now, and one can't blame him. It really has been a very, very disappointing performance by Spurs in this first half. But what pressure now is under Antonio Conte, as his goal will surely be to reach the top four this season. They're already 5 points adrift. And Arsenal pick up the ball once again. Here's Odegaard. Spurs are just giving the ball away too often in this first half. Here's Bukayo Saka. Overlapping is Ben White, but he doesn't see him. Bukayo Saka is tripped though. It's going to be a free kick. About a yard outside the Spurs penalty area. The only way Spurs have really been able to stop Bukayo Saka is bringing him down. They have no answer to him in this first half. This time he's body checked by Lenglet. Oh, body checked in a way that certainly would go down well in an ice hockey match, but not in a football match. That's no further action taken by the referee though. And Craig Pawson, I think, has done a good job so far in this first half. Kept his cards in his pocket for the most part. Experienced referee, of course, celebrating his 10th year in the Premier League, and congratulations to him. Free kick just a yard outside the penalty area. And Hugo Lloris trying to organise his wall. Hugo Lloris may look to himself, certainly for the first goal, but quite possibly for the second as well. Odegaard in there. Son making up the four men in the wall. Kane, Sarr, and Højbjerg making up that wall. Saka has just gone in there, as well as two other Arsenal players, including Xhaka and Gabriel, to try to confuse the Spurs wall and confuse Hugo Lloris. Odegaard is over this one now. Is he going to shoot, or is he going to just flick the ball into the penalty area? Odegaard will go for the shot. The wall does its job, but Odegaard has the ball back, and he goes all the way back to Aaron Ramsdale, who's barely touched the ball. He has made a fantastic save on Son, and it's played forward and by Ramsdale. The header is intercepted by Doherty, and Spurs just managed to hold possession. And here's Kane. It's out on this near side, but chasing that one down is Lenglet, and the ball goes out of play. And once again, Arsenal will get possession with a throw-in. Well, we have 3 minutes to go till half-time. It's been a fairly free-flowing first half, perhaps with the brief stoppage for when Saka was down. Can't imagine there'll be too much stoppage time, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Here's Saka. Saka just tries to play the ball. It's intercepted by Lenglet, but Arsenal do keep the ball. And it's over on the far side to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka's got space in front of him. He crosses the ball in. It's cleared away by Dyer. And Højbjerg just trying to calm things down, gets the ball back to Ramiro. Here's Doherty. Doherty gives the ball back to Ramiro. And here's Kulusevski and Højbjerg. Kane dispossessed, so... But it is a free kick. Gabriel doesn't believe it, but it's a foul on Kane. It definitely was a foul in my opinion, so it'd be a free kick to Spurs. Midway inside their own half. Look at this. Touches in the opposition box. 19 for Arsenal, 1 for Spurs. That really does tell the story. And this has been a dominant first half by Arsenal. And it's with Lenglet now on the far side. Lenglet. He slips the ball forward for Son. Son goes all the way back to Dyer. As Tottenham just attempted to keep the ball. It's a long ball by Dyer looking for Kane. But in my opinion, it was a desperate ball and just goes all the way through to Aaron Ramsdale. He gives the ball to Partey. Partey's got some options. Decides to go across to Zinchenko. The Ukrainian international, cuts inside into the middle of the park, and he gives it to Ben White. Ben White slips it to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka fouled that time by Ryan Sessegnon. Once again, it'll be an Arsenal free kick, and once again, they are not able to deal with Saka very easy. And you can see those Arsenal fans, they're in jubilant mood, not just because they're beating their North London rivals right now, and not just dominating, but because they are currently 8 points clear at the top of the league. And here is White. White plays the ball infield to Nketiah. Nketiah just knocks the ball there to Xhaka. Xhaka to Martinelli as Arsenal stream forward looking for a third. Martinelli back to Partey. Partey, was he held there by Kulusevski? It looks like it. The referee says play on. Partey down this near side to Ben White. Ben White gives it to Saka. Saka back to White. White back to Partey. Partey on the far side to Zinchenko. Zinchenko to Martinelli. Martinelli. Oh, it's a good block by Ramiro. Spurs win the ball back. Here's Sarr. 2 minutes of injury time. Sarr gives the ball away to Martinelli though, but illegally in that particular situation. There's a foul on Sarr by Odegaard. We have 2 minutes stoppage time. Let's have a look at that again. Oh yes, he's obstructed Sarr there. There's no question about that. It's a free kick for Tottenham. Odegaard complaining, but I don't think he can with that. That was a blatant foul. But once again, it's given away, this time by Dyer, and Arsenal win the ball back. As once again, Spurs give the ball away in their own half of the field. Honestly, I wish I had £1 for every time Spurs had done that in the first half. I'd be a very rich man now. There's another foul on Xhaka. And Craig Pawson shows the yellow card to Sessegnon. I'm not surprised. It's about the third foul he's done on Saka. So ultimately, the yellow card was right to come out. We have 1 minute of stoppage time left. It's going to be a free kick to the Arsenal. The goals, Hugo Lloris's own goal on 15 minutes and Odegaard's strike on 36 is the difference. But my goodness, it could have been much more. It's back with Gabriel now. And back to Aaron Ramsdale. Although as disappointing as Spurs have been in this first half, you have to give credit to Arsenal. They've been absolutely outstanding in this first half. They've been dynamic, they've been organised. Defensively, they've been difficult to break down. Coming forward, they've just looked amazing. As time ticks down in stoppage time, we're almost played the full 2 minutes. And here is Dyer. Dyer attempting to get over the halfway. It's a long ball, looking for Kane. Kane nods it down, but only to Thomas Partey. Zinchenko gives the ball away, and here's Højbjerg. Maybe a late chance for Spurs. Højbjerg plays the ball, and there's Kane with a header! And a good save by Aaron Ramsdale. It's the second save he's had to make in the first half from Kane's header. But it's a fine save, and it will be a corner to Tottenham. He's onside, and the header there was a good save by Ramsdale. He hasn't had much to do in this first half, and but that is a very smart save by the England international. And it's going to be a corner kick to Spurs to be taken by Son. Swung in. It's bouncing around there. It comes out to Højbjerg. Højbjerg, oh, I guess he was caught between crossing the ball and shooting. And I think the referee has given a penalty. The referee has given a penalty for the foul on Højbjerg. Well, the referee will look at the VAR will look at it again. The corner came in. Højbjerg gets a shot away. I can't give a penalty for that. Surely that will be overturned. The ball had long gone, and it doesn't look like there's much in it to me. It looks like Højbjerg just goes over him. I thought the referee had given a penalty. The referee's looking at it. VAR are looking at it, but in fact, I guess it's not. It's not. It's half time. Well, it looked like the referee had pointed to the spot there, and and it was strange because the Arsenal players surrounded the official as well. But yeah, I was going to say you couldn't give a penalty for that. It's in fact half time now. It's Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 2 at half time. The differences in this one is Hugo Lloris's own goal in 15 minutes, Odegaard's strike on 36 minutes, Thomas Partey's volley hit the post, Odegaard forced a good save out of Hugo Lloris. There's not really been much from Spurs. Son forced a good save out of Aaron Ramsdale, and Kane's header also made a good save out of Aaron Ramsdale. But it's half time here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 2. And you've been listening to the Commentary Hub. welcome back to the start of the second half here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The players are out. From what I can see, and I say this with great surprise, that there has been no substitutions. Not surprised from Arsenal's point of view, but given the way Spurs played in the first half, I might have expected to see some substitutions, but that doesn't appear to be the case. And it looks like we'll start with the same 11 that we started in the first half. Well, Kane is out there now, and looking at him, he's had the one chance in the first half, which was a good save by Aaron Ramsdale. And he's just waiting out the centre circle to get this game back underway. Richarlison warming up. I shouldn't expect it'll be too long before we see him. And he's just warming up there now. We're just waiting for the referee to get us underway. Arsenal themselves now are on the field. We're just waiting for the Arsenal team, I think. Yeah, they're now on the field, and we'll begin the second half underway momentarily. For Arsenal, I think it's very much just keep doing what you've been doing in that first half. They've been absolutely outstanding. They really have looked like every bit the champions-elect in that first half. Absolutely outstanding. For Spurs, they have not looked like a Champions League qualifying team, and it's going to start to slip away from them if they cannot get themselves back into this game in the second half. Well, waiting for Craig Pawson now just to blow his whistle, get us back underway. Spurs will be attacking the goal to our right. And Højbjerg standing over the ball and gets the game back underway. We'll just go over the two teams real quickly in a moment. Hugo Lloris in goal. Lenglet, Dyer, Romero, Sessegnon, Højbjerg, Sarr, Doherty, Son, Kulusevski and Kane is the Spurs team. Arsenal is Aaron Ramsdale, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard, the goal scorer, Saka, Nketiah and Martinelli make up the Arsenal team. No changes, as I mentioned earlier, as of yet. So if you just joined us, where have you been? It's 2-0, and Arsenal have very much dominated this first half. Here's Sessegnon. It's blocked that time by Gabriel, and it goes out for a throw-in. Spurs take the throw-in very quickly. And it'll be a free kick. So it'll be played forward by Arsenal. And here is Martinelli. Martinelli, it's blocked and won back by Romero. And Arsenal now are just going to be a bit on the back foot now as Spurs come forward with Højbjerg. Let's see what he can do with it. Højbjerg slips it out to Son. Son back to Højbjerg. Højbjerg down on this near side. To Lenglet. Lenglet infield to Kane. Kane, his shot is blocked by Xhaka. Arsenal will attempt to move forward now. Here's Xhaka. Slips the ball back to Zinchenko. Zinchenko cuts away. And Zinchenko plays the ball to Xhaka. That's a nice ball. Xhaka plays it with the outside of his foot to Ben White. And the ball is out on the far side to Saka, the impressive Bukayo Saka, who's been absolutely outstanding in the first half. Saka plays it to Nketiah, back to Saka. Saka back to Nketiah, but it's just cleared away that time by Dyer. But Arsenal maintain possession. It's Thomas Partey. Slips the ball out wide there to White. Back to Odegaard. And Partey just goes all the way back there to Gabriel. And he just plays it out wide there to Martinelli. And it's back there with Gabriel. Gabriel launches the ball forward, but it's just to no one in particular. Dyer just picks it up and plays it back to Hugo Lloris, whose first touch was a bit wayward. And then Nketiah, had he been a bit more alive to it, could have gotten on the end of that. Here's Dyer, and he slips it back to Sarr. Sarr goes back to the goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. Here's Dyer, and he gives it to Højbjerg. And he's got the ball now in the middle of the park. And it's Sarr. Sarr plays the ball out on the far side there to Doherty. Doherty out on this near side to Kulishevsky off Kane. Kulishevsky cuts inside, curls a shot and just gets away from Ramsdale, but it also clears the crossbar and will be a goal kick. Well, a real chance there. Spurs' best move for the match, probably. Cut inside and gets the shot away, but it's just wayward, clears the crossbar. Chance there, though, for Spurs. It's a bright start by them in the second half as they attempt to get themselves back into this North London derby. And Aaron Ramsdale clears the ball, right-footed downfield. It's just flicked on by Thomas Partey, once again by Partey, but here's Martinelli. Martinelli just trying to bring the ball under control, but he's under pressure by Romero, and the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in to the Arsenal. Must have come off Romero last, and Romero just can't believe it. He's just refusing to give the ball. Now, eventually he does. It's going to be a throw-in to Arsenal, and he's complaining at the referee, and he's going to talk his way into a yellow card if he's not careful. He's already been booked. He needs to be careful. It does look like it was out. He might have a point, but he's already been booked, and he has to be careful what he says to the referee. I mean, that's the very last thing Spurs need, is to go down to 10 men when they're already 2-0 down. Thomas Partey now with the throw-in. It's a long one into the box. It's flicked on by Gabriel. Spurs attempt to clear it, and Harry Kane chasing that one down, but Odegaard gets there first. Plays it back to Saliba. Saliba goes back to the goalkeeper. Ramsdale clears. Going up there is Zinchenko. Good header by Zinchenko. It's picked up by Martinelli. But that's a good win back by Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky plays it to Kane. Kane with a shot. Super save by Aaron Ramsdale. Well, he flew to his right-hand side to make that save, as Kane once again attempts to equal Jimmy Greaves' record. Strikes the shot there. And, it's a great turn by Kulishevsky. Plays the ball to Kane. Kane, it's a difficult angle for the shot over there, but plays it across Ramsdale. Ramsdale makes a save. It's a corner to Spurs. And just trying to see there who's taking it. Looks like it might be Song. It's in-swung. It's headed away by White. Only as far as the edge of the penalty area. Picked up there by Dyer, but it's hacked away then by Saliba. And now it's back with Højbjerg. Højbjerg just tries to play the ball forward. And it looks like it's out of Højbjerg. It's going to be a throw-in to Arsenal. Well, Conte just trying to instruct his side. Spurs have started the second half a little bit more positively, it has to be said. And here is Zinchenko with a throw-in. He gets the ball back. Zinchenko just trying to play the ball past Højbjerg. And Højbjerg plays it off Zinchenko. It's going to be a throw-in to Tottenham. Ironic cheers from the home crowd. And Matt Doherty will take the throw-in for Spurs. He's just stealing about 12 yards. It's thrown back to Romero. Romero goes back to Dyer. Dyer slips it over on the far side to Sessegnon. Sessegnon looking for Son, chasing that ball down, but Saliba is over there dealing with Son. Good work by William Saliba, but his pass is not a good one to Sessegnon. Now Sessegnon finds Kane. Back to Sessegnon. Real chance for Spurs. Oh, another superb save by Ramsdale. Wow, oh wow, what an excellent save by the Arsenal stopper there. Corner is taken quickly. Here's Son. We'll revisit that save in a moment. Kulishevsky. He's just over out on the far side there. Kulishevsky's been forced out wide. And it's back with Son. And Son just drops the ball back to Højbjerg. Højbjerg slips the ball to Sarr. Over out on the far side there is Doherty. That ball is swung in. There's a header. It's flicked on, hacked away though by Nketiah, but only as far as Doherty. It's back with Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky back to Doherty. Can he swing the cross in? Oh, he can. It's headed away. And it's going to be, Spurs have won the ball back. And it's Højbjerg swings the ball in. Looking for Kane. Kane with a header. It goes back towards goal, but Aaron Ramsdale just picks it up. And let's look at this save again. It's Kane just swings the ball into Sessegnon. Oh, a kick save and a beauty. A kick save and a beauty. That was absolutely outstanding work by Aaron Ramsdale. That's the third big save of the match for him today. Definitely playing his part as well, despite Arsenal dominating. Spurs have definitely started the second half better, though. And it's going to be a free kick to the Arsenal here for a foul on Martinelli by Sarr. And it most definitely was a foul, although Sarr is protesting. Just pushed him over. I mean, Sarr then goes into the book. So Sarr gets a yellow card. But it's a foul. It's a foul in a dangerous position. There's no question that, in my opinion, that the referee was correct in booking him there. Odegaard with the free kick. It's about a yard outside the penalty area, on the corner of the penalty area. And it's going to be it's probably going to be swung in by Odegaard at this point. And well, Odegaard's got players in the box there. Arsenal have loaded up the penalty area. Odegaard swung in. It's a disappointing ball, and it's headed out by Sarr. And it's going to be a throw into Arsenal. It's going to be taken level with the 6-yard box, the Tottenham 6-yard box. So you can expect Thomas Partey to go over there and launch another one into the box. And he's just drying off the ball there to do that. And Thomas Partey just throws the ball in. And it's just hacked away. Knocked behind by a corner for a corner by Dyer. The throw-in just didn't quite reach where Partey wanted it to go. Dyer just knocks it behind. It's going to be a corner. And you have to begin to think now that Arsenal, while Spurs do pressure, Arsenal will have that opportunity of catching Spurs on the break, and they really, really do move forward quickly. Now Martinelli is standing over this corner. He's going to swing it in, but it's a poor one. It's headed away by Hojbjerg, and Doherty's chasing this one now. Sorry, Kulusevski's chasing this one now. It's headed out of play by Zinchenko. It's going to be a throw-in. Arteta looked like he was just arguing with Kulusevski there. But they split up and play goes on. And it's returned by Romero to Lloris. And Lloris clears the ball downfield, but Arsenal win the ball back. And here's Nketiah to Martinelli, but the assistant's flag is up on the far side. And here's Hojbjerg. Hojbjerg now plays it out on this side to Doherty. Doherty forward looking for Kulusevski, but clearing up at the back there is Gabriel. And the ball goes out of play for a throw-in to Spurs. Kulusevski takes it quickly. Doherty gets the cross in. It's long. It's headed down there by Sarr to Kane. Kane slips the ball down to Kulusevski. Kulusevski now, what's he going to do? He cuts inside. He tries a shot, Kulusevski, and it escapes Harry Kane, who was moving in on the back post, but also escapes the back post as well. Goes behind for a goal kick. Kulusevski just cut inside here. And, well, it looks like he was perhaps confused between shooting and crossing. In the end, it just sails wide for a goal kick to Arsenal. And Aaron Ramsdale will take his time with this one. In the last 10 minutes, certainly Arsenal have been a little bit on the back foot. Spurs have definitely come out with a better attacking intent in this second half than they did in the first. Aaron Ramsdale with the goal kick, right-footed downfield. And Partey just heads the ball down, or he tries to, but it's picked up by Xhaka in midfield. He drops it back to Zinchenko. Zinchenko plays the ball back to Xhaka. Xhaka back there to Gabriel. And Gabriel just panicked a little bit, knocked the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw into Tottenham. We've had 12 minutes in this second half. It is still Spurs 0, Arsenal 2. And here's Granit Xhaka. Just tries to play the ball to Nketiah. Nketiah was almost dispossessed, but Arsenal keep the ball. It's Martinelli now. Martinelli cuts inside. Plays the ball across to Nketiah. Nketiah got a chance, he shoots. But Hugo Lloris is right behind that. Just inside the penalty area there. Just tried to curl it away to Lloris's left-hand side. It was a comfortable save in the end. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. You are listening to Alternative Commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. And it looks like VAR is just looking at something here. I'm just not sure what it is. No, actually, it's Xhaka who's down. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports, Turton Talks Football, and Storm FM. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. And Romero there was is adjudged to have fouled Xhaka in that lead up to the free kick. Xhaka is still down. He has to be very careful now, Romero. He really must be on the thinnest of ice. And you could actually see the Arsenal players surrounding the referee to try to get him to send him off. It was a late challenge, and frankly, that could well have been considered a yellow card. But I really don't like seeing players trying to get other players sent off. I don't like that at all. And Conte there. Xhaka is on his feet now, and he's talking to somebody. I don't know if he's talking to Conte. And the ball is over on the far side from the free kick now. And here's Saka. Bukayo Saka looking to get the better of Sessegnon. Saka just plays the ball back to Odegaard, but perhaps a little bit short. But Arsenal maintain possession. Here's Granit Xhaka. He just heads the ball back to Zinchenko. Zinchenko then goes all the way back to Aaron Ramsdale, just brings it down in his chest, plays the pass to Gabriel. Gabriel back to Thomas Partey. Partey to Odegaard, just drops it back to Ben White. Ben White looking for the impressive Bukayo Saka. Saka drops it back to Odegaard, back to White. White has got space in front of him. Here's Nketiah. His first touch is disappointing, and Dyer is able to clear it. And the ball is out to Kulusevski on the far side now. He's got space in front of him. He's got Kane and Son up there with him. Kulusevski's ball is extremely disappointing as he tried to find Son, and it was a comfortable interception by Xhaka. The throw-in is taken quickly. And, he just knocked the ball out to play that comfortable interception. The throw-in is taken quickly, though. It's Sarr. Sarr to Son. Son down this near side to Højbjerg. Højbjerg to Doherty. Doherty back to Højbjerg. Højbjerg cuts inside, and Kane picks it up. And he just drops it to Kulusevski. Kulusevski's got Doherty and Son up with him. Kulusevski gets it back on Son. Kulusevski's cross, and Sessegnon was not able to get a shot on goal there, and it went right across the penalty area. And Arsenal pick up the ball, and they're able to clear now with Martinelli. Chasing that one down is Nketiah, but cutting across is Dyer to make that interception. It's going to be a throw into Arsenal. About midway inside the Tottenham half of the field. We've played an hour. Tottenham 0, Arsenal 2. And Spurs have definitely been more positive in the second half, but they haven't really been able to penetrate the Arsenal defence too much. Kane forcing a couple of good saves from Aaron Ramsdale, one with his foot on Sessegnon. Arsenal just stealing some yards here. They've stolen about 10 yards. Zinchenko there. He slips the ball back to Partey. It's now back with Zinchenko. Zinchenko back to Partey. Partey forward to Odegaard. You have to say if Arsenal score the next goal, it's all over. Odegaard to Martinelli. Martinelli cuts inside the penalty area and out again. Martinelli slips the ball to Xhaka. Xhaka plays the ball into Martinelli. Can he get the shot away? He's surrounded by 3 Spurs players, and Spurs are able to get the ball away. But the pass by Romero to Kulusevski was just not good enough. It went out of play. Going to be a throw into Arsenal, which they take quickly. Partey plays the ball to Saliba. Saliba to White. White to Bukayo Saka. And it's back to Partey. Partey back to the Arsenal number 35, Zinchenko. Gives the ball back to Bukayo Saka. Saka just picks up the ball now. Just cutting in field, just plays the ball to Partey. We've had no substitutions so far. Quite surprised at that. Here's Odegaard. Odegaard tries to play through Nketiah. Nketiah is adjudged to have fouled Dyer there, and it'll be a free kick to Tottenham. Well, Spurs are definitely probably arguably the better side in the start of the second half, creating chances, forcing saves. We've now got 10 attempts each, 5 shots on target for Spurs, 4 for Arsenal. So they've definitely been, in my opinion, been the better side in the second half of Spurs. Gulashevsky's down with a head injury, so Craig Pawson will stop play while they deal with that. You're listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Play of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports, Turton Talks Football, and Storm FM. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and at Commentary Live 1. And you can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Commentary Hub. That's my marketing done for the day. And the free kick will be taken quickly by Eric Dyer, who slips it to Sarr. Sarr drops it back to Lenulay. Lenulay gives it to Ryan Sessegnon. Sessegnon trying to cut into the middle of the park, but he's dispossessed comfortably. And here's Granit Xhaka for Arsenal. He slips it out to Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli now racing into the penalty area. He's being pushed out wide by Doherty, and Martinelli surrenders the ball, and Spurs can now move forward. And here's Kulishevsky, but cutting across there is Thomas Partey, cutting that out and playing it back to Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale clears the ball downfield. He's actually looking for Bukayo Saka. That ball is won comfortably in the air, though, by Lenulay. Here's Sessegnon. And he slips the ball forward there to Højbjerg. Højbjerg lifts it forward looking for Son, but there's too much on that, and it goes straight through to Arsenal's England international, Aaron Ramsdale, who's been extremely impressive, made 3 or 4 wonderful saves in this game. And the ball by Partey to Zinchenko. Zinchenko not able to control it, and it goes out of play for a throw-in. And so far, we've had 65 minutes gone, and it doesn't look like there's any activity on either bench. If perhaps I was Conte, I might look at least swapping out Ramiro, who must be so close to a second yellow. Ramiro does play it to Højbjerg now, and here's Doherty. Back to Ramiro. And it's with Doherty. Doherty now just looking at what options he has. He has Ramiro in a very advanced position. Ramiro just drops it back, and he drops it back to Dyer, and it's played now to to Ramiro. It's to Doherty now. Doherty back to Sarr, who drops it back to Ramiro. Spurs patient build up here. Ramiro just slips it back to Dyer. All 3 defenders. Here's Lenulay. All of them in advanced positions here. And here's Sessegnon. And it's Højbjerg. Højbjerg launches the ball into, well, it just switches over to the far side to Doherty. And it's Ramiro. Ramiro to Son. Son back to Kane. Can Kane turn and shoot? Good block by Gabriel. The cross comes in by Doherty. It's headed away by Gabriel again. Good defending by him. And Nketiah goes down. It looks like it's come off Nketiah, and a throw into Spurs. Here's Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky dancing his way into the penalty area, but cutting across once again is Gabriel and knocks the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw into Spurs, level with the Arsenal 6-yard box. It's going to be Doherty. Doherty throws the ball back to Dyer, and he slips it back to Lenulay. Lenulay looking for Son, the number 7. Son plays the ball forward there to Ramiro, and now it's back with Højbjerg again. Højbjerg switches the play across to Dyer. Dyer to Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky just not able to beat Granit Xhaka. Great work by Granit Xhaka. And he plays the ball now over to Odegaard on the far side. Arsenal attempting to break out. Højbjerg over Odegaard. Looks like that may be a foul. Indeed, the assistant flags on the far side. Højbjerg disagrees, but the free kick is taken quickly, and it's over on the far side to Martinelli. Martinelli brings the ball down comfortably. He's got a lot of space. Martinelli slips the ball back to Partey. Partey's shot is disappointing, goes well wide, and it will be a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur. Promising move there, breaks down for Arsenal, and it's going to be a goal kick. You see that? Look at that. Martinelli just brought that down with his back. He had that much time. And, well, we have 22 minutes left here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You're listening to Paul James for alternative commentary, delayed alternative commentary on this Premier League game, the 193rd North London derby, which at the moment Arsenal are winning 2-0. And the ball is played over onto the far side there to Lenulay slips it to Son to Højbjerg. Højbjerg, Spurs attempt to break forward again. And he slips it to Lenulay, who's advancing forward one more time. Højbjerg to Sarr. Sarr down on this near side to Doherty. Doherty. And back to Sarr again. Doherty. Sarr just drops the ball back to Ramiro. Ramiro just slips it to Dyer. Dyer on the far side to Lenulay. Lenulay has got Sessegnon up there with him. He chooses to drop it back to Højbjerg. And Dyer down on the far side to Lenulay. Lenulay looking at what options are available. Slips it to Son. Son under pressure by two Arsenal players and he's dispossessed. And Arsenal win the ball back. And it's Gabriel. He slips the ball to Xhaka. Xhaka has got Nketiah and Martinelli up there with him. He finds Nketiah. Real chance to wrap it up. Wonderful save by Hugo Lloris. Well, he kept Spurs in the game with that save. A chance by Nketiah there to wrap this game up. But a good save by Hugo Lloris. Really, Nketiah should score from there. Sarr is brought down. It's going to be a free kick. But a promising break by Arsenal. Good football all round. You can see here, Xhaka slips a beauty to the two defenders. And Hugo Lloris came out and made a smart save on Nketiah. And that's a good save. Oh, right with the chest there. But a wonderful ball, slipping it through Højbjerg and Dyer by Xhaka. What a chance to wrap this game up. 20 minutes to go. It remains Spurs 0. Arsenal 2. And it looks like there's been another yellow card. Yes, this time to Martinelli. Not sure exactly what for. I'm trying to find out for you. But Martinelli has picked up a yellow card. And just see if we can find out what that's for. For perhaps roughing up one of the Spurs defenders. Richarlison preparing to come on now. We knew it was only going to be a matter of time before that happened. He's preparing himself right now. Here's Bukayo Saka. A judge should have handled the ball there. Be a free kick to Spurs. Taken quickly. And here's Højbjerg. Højbjerg plays it out to Sessegnon on the far side. But, well, that's disappointing from Sessegnon. And the substitution can now be made. It's Doherty, I think, who is going to be coming off. Doherty coming off. And Richarlison, the number 9, who is coming on. And, well, he'll certainly add some speed down to that right-hand side, Richarlison. I expect he'll slip into a more advanced position than Doherty. And we might see a reshuffle here. We might see more like either a 5-3-2 or a 4-2-3-1. We'll see how that all lays out. But it's a throw into Arsenal on the far side. 19 minutes to go here. It's Spurs 0, Arsenal 2. And Richarlison is on. Ramiro and Martinelli having a discussion. And here's Nketiah on the far side. Nketiah's got Dyer in front of him. Tries to find Bukayo Saka. Nketiah picks the ball up at the second time of asking, is Odegaard fouled there? Indeed he is. Højbjerg definitely went through him there. And well, look at this by Dyer. He needs to be careful. He's also on a yellow card, I think. No, actually he isn't. Dyer is not on a yellow card. He is now, though. He's been shown a yellow card for his reaction to that. Let's just have a look here. Nketiah, first of all, is just over on, plays the ball to Odegaard, and this is really where Odegaard is. Yeah, he wasn't booked for the foul. I think he was booked for remonstrating afterwards. Look at him, he's getting right into the referee's face, and you can't do that. You're going to get a yellow card, and it's a stupid yellow card because now 2 of that back 3, Dyer and Ramiro, are on yellow cards. And there is still 18 minutes to go. Anyway, this Odegaard is over this one. Spurs again have that high line. It's played through to Nketiah. Can Nketiah get a shot away? Great block by Højbjerg. It comes back to the edge of the penalty area, though, and Arsenal still have it. It's Bukayo Saka. Slipped it to Odegaard. Back to Saka. Saka, and he plays it to Odegaard. Odegaard just dropped the ball to Xhaka. Xhaka down this near side to Martinelli. Martinelli's got some space in front of him. Good challenge by Kulusevski. It goes out of play. Is it going to be a throw into Spurs? Yes, it is. It did come off Martinelli last, and Romero will take the throw in. Yeah. So we have the throw in taken quickly, and Arsenal win the ball back though from the Spurs throw in. Once again, I have to say, it's they just give the ball away there unnecessarily. It goes back to Ramsdale, and it's long downfield by Ramsdale, but he only picks up his opposite number, Hugo Lloris. We have 16 minutes left in this one. It's Spurs 0, Arsenal 2. So far, Mikel Arteta not planning on any substitutions at the moment. I'm not surprised. Arsenal really have played very well in this game. Defended very well. They've had a couple of chances of Spurs, created some good saves from the goalkeeper, but on the whole, Arsenal have just been absolutely outstanding today and are looking every bit potential champions. And here's Sarr. Sarr now in the middle of the park. He finds Richarlison. Richarlison just slips it out to Kulusevski. Kulusevski swings the ball in, and it's above Kane's head and goes out of play for a goal kick. And just in case you missed it, some results from here's another Spurs substitution. It's Perisic coming on, and coming off is Ryan Sessegnon. So Sessegnon is coming off, and Ivan Perisic is coming on. There is also Yves Bissouma who is coming on as well, and it looks like Sarr is coming off. So we have Sarr and Sessegnon off. Yves Bissouma and Ivan Perisic have come on to replace them. I'm a little surprised we're seeing Perisic so late in the game. Thought we might see him a little bit earlier. He's absolutely outstanding, is Perisic. He's creates opportunities. He works hard. I think Spurs might have been served better bringing him on a little bit earlier. But it's a goal kick for Arsenal, and it's Aaron Ramsdale that's going to take it. Right-footed downfield. And one in the air there. And Richarlison picks it up. Was he fouled? The referee says no. And, well, this time he does. So Kane is adjudged to have fouled him there. And, there is Craig Pawson in the middle of the park. He has an average of showing about 4 yellow cards per game. So his average is about 4 yellow cards per game, and he's done that today. But I think he's actually done rather a splendid job today, as Craig Pawson. He's marshalled this game very, very well, and it's not an easy game to referee. And it's played for by Gabriel. Here's Odegaard. Odegaard moving forward now for Arsenal. Is he tripped there? The referee says no. Odegaard again. Odegaard, it's back over to Saka. Saka plays it in the middle to Zinchenko. Zinchenko's got options in front of him, plays it to Xhaka. Xhaka got time and space. Odegaard trying to cut inside. He's tripped there. That'll be a free kick. The shot came in from Nketiah, but it's a foul by Perisic, and it will be a free kick to Arsenal right on the edge of the penalty area. It's just on the side of the D on the left-hand side, and there's no doubt that's a free kick. 13 minutes to go. It's Spurs 0, Arsenal 2. Odegaard is over this. Xhaka is over this. And let's see if Arsenal can do anything with this. Dyer is in the wall. Højbjerg, Kane. Son is laying down flat behind the wall. Joined in the wall there by Højbjerg. And let's see, you've got the options of Xhaka or Odegaard. Either one of them can take this. It's in a very, very dangerous position. Craig Pawson just making sure that the wall is back its proper full 10 yards. Lenulay, Dyer, Perisic, Kane, all in there. And Xhaka and Odegaard around about. You've got to feel that he may try to curl this around the wall rather than try to get it over and down. Arsenal forming a wall of their own right in front of the wall. And we're just trying to see who's going to take this. It's going to be Xhaka. Xhaka! And it just goes over the crossbar. And it will be a goal kick. It's a good effort by Xhaka. Gets it over the wall. Just doesn't get it down, unfortunately. Gets it round the wall. Just doesn't keep it down. And it's going to be a goal kick. Another Arsenal's first substitution coming up now. Just trying to see who that is. Martinelli is coming off. And Kieran Tierney is coming on. So it's a defensive substitution for Arsenal. Defender for an attacker. Kieran Tierney is on for Gabriel Martinelli. Been a bit quiet today, Martinelli. Not being as big a threat as perhaps Saka on the far side. Here is Richarlison. Richarlison just dispossessed that time. And Odegaard tries to win the ball back. But Perisic there is fouled. And it'll be a free kick to Spurs. Taken quickly. Here's Dyer. 29 today. Dyer back with back to Christian Romero. And here's Højbjerg. Højbjerg slips the ball over on the far side to Lenulay. Goes all the way back now to Lloris. And Romero. Romero, his pass is disappointing. It's played out of play. It's going to be another throw into Arsenal in a dangerous position, level with the Spurs penalty area. Very soon, I'm going to have to start thinking about my player of the match. And throw-in's taken quickly. It's Tierney on the far side. Advanced position. The ball goes out of play off Tierney. Throws it away. Christian Romero, got to be careful. And Christian Romero takes it quickly. And, is he fouled there, Højbjerg? Yes, indeed he was. Højbjerg takes the free kick quickly. And it's with Perisic. Perisic's ball is disappointing. It's comfortably intercepted by Tierney, and Arsenal move forward again. Perisic intercepts, and it's Bissouma. Bissouma now plays the ball down on this near side. It's Romero. Romero plays the ball forward, looking for Richarlison. Richarlison tries to knock it on for Kulusevski, and it looks like Richarlison was fouled there, and it's going to be a free kick to Spurs. Conte on the touchline. Foul by Gabriel there. Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. And Son is over this free kick. And, he's just taking his time. Arsenal have got Spurs have got, they've got Dyer, they've got Lenier, they've got Richarlison, they've got Kane. They're all in there. Can Son deliver a good one here? Son swings it in. It's too close to Ramsdale. He punches it out. But it only goes as far as Højbjerg. Højbjerg back to Son. Can Son launch it in again? Indeed he does. And it's bouncing around there, but it falls to Richarlison on the far side. Richarlison crosses the ball back in. It's headed away by Gabriel. It's back to Kulusevski. Kulusevski cuts inside. He tries to get the crosser in the box again. It's bouncing around there. It's coming to Son. Son, it's blocked. Richarlison with a chance if he can bring it down. Well, he just didn't bring it down quickly enough. It's crossed back in. It's headed out by Saliba. Helped along its way by Gabriel. Bissouma, back to Son. Son with a shot. It's blocked off Xhaka. Back to Richarlison with a shot, but Ramsdale smartly down to his left-hand side to make the save. And good save by Aaron Ramsdale. Just gets down to his left-hand side there. I have to say, Aaron Ramsdale has made some sparkling saves. I know Arsenal have been the dominant side for the most part in this game, but he's managed to keep Arsenal's leading tact. He's definitely a genuine candidate for player of the match. But also is this man, Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka cuts inside the penalty area, squared across to Nketiah. Nketiah back to Odegaard. Odegaard thinks of shooting, but decides to play it to Partey. Partey to Zinchenko. Zinchenko's cross, just headed out by Dyer and finds Højbjerg. Højbjerg looking forward for Richarlison. Richarlison tries to head it on to Kulusevski. It's won back that time by Tierney, and he gives the ball to Xhaka. Xhaka slips the ball to Nketiah. Spurs claiming offside. It goes all the way back to Hugo Lloris. Perhaps Nketiah does look very tired down the far side. I wonder whether perhaps further changes by Arsenal. But here comes Kane now. Down that right-hand side. Kane pulls across back to Son. Son shoots, but he blazes it over the crossbar. He's claiming it took a deflection. And yes, the assistant agrees with him, and it's going to be a corner to Spurs. And he just drops it to Perisic. And it looks like it's going to be Perisic with the corner. He's lining it up. And it looks like he's going to in-swing it. That 6-yard box is very crowded. And it's going to be swung in. It's headed away by Gabriel, but only as far as Kulusevski. Kulusevski now will have a chance. Is he going to cut inside the penalty area? He does. Kulusevski plays it across. Good work by Ramsdale again. Gets his leg to it. Gets a block on there. Behind him was Kane. And it's cleared downfield. Lloris comes out to almost the halfway line. Gives it to Bissouma. Bissouma to Højbjerg. Bissouma. Bissouma plays, just plays it down there on this near side to Kulusevski. Back to Lenglet. Lenglet down on that side to Højbjerg. And here's Son down on the other side. He's just trying to get the better of Ben White. What can he do here, Son? Good work by Ben White. Just gets his foot in the way, knocks it out of play for a throw-in. It'll be a Spurs throw-in, level with the 6-yard box, the Arsenal 6-yard box. Perisic is going to take it. We are going to see Tomiyasu in a moment. We're just going to wait and see who he's going to come on for. Looks like it's Zinchenko. The substitution is going to be made. So Alexander Zinchenko, like for like, he'll go off and Tomiyasu will come on. Zinchenko slowly walking away on the far side. Bissouma trying to push him off. Zinchenko will now take even longer as he wanders over. And to a chorus of boos from the Spurs end. And Tomiyasu now will come on for the Arsenal. Zinchenko has been very impressive today. Again, good work by him, especially getting forward down that right-hand side. It's going to be a throw into Spurs. It's going to be taken by Ivan Perisic. 5 minutes to go, and in a moment I'm going to name my player of the match. A throw in by Perisic. It's headed out by White, and it'll go out of play again, and Perisic will have another go. Ivan Perisic, thrown in, flicked on by Kane. Doesn't get very far, but Arsenal, and it's adjudged to have fouled her right on the edge of the penalty area. Well, it's Lenglet who is adjudged to have been fouled. Let's have a look at this. Almost right out on the edge of the penalty area, and yes, it's Partey's miscue there. Definitely a free kick to Spurs, but it's right on the edge of the penalty area, and Spurs are planning 2 more substitutions, Ben Davies and Brian Gill. That will make up the 5 substitutes for Spurs. We'll see. I don't think that they will come on as of yet. It'll probably come after this free kick. Son is over it. And as soon as this free kick is over, I will name my player of the match. And Son is over this one. And, well, Arsenal have got a wall there with Nketiah, Gabriel, Xhaka, White down there. Behind them, laying down is Odegaard. Spurs creating their own wall in front of the wall. And it looks like it's going to be Son who's going to try from here. Let's see if he can do anything with this. Son takes a free kick. Oh, it's blocked by the wall. And it comes out to Bissouma. And Bissouma just plays it out to the number 21, Kulusevski. Kulusevski plays it. It's headed out by White. Bissouma brings the ball down. And it's Kulusevski again. Kulusevski swung in the shot, and it's a comfortable save by Aaron Ramsdale. And I'm going to name my player of the match just quickly here. It's this man on the ball, Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka has been so impressive in this game. Spurs have just not been able to handle him. He's had a hand in both goals. So today's player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Arsenal's number 7, Bukayo Saka. And we are going to see who is coming off in a moment for Spurs. And Lenglet is one of the substitutions. And we'll just take a look at who the other one is for Brian Gill. We just seem to be holding off on Brian Gill. I suspect it will be Kulishevsky before Brian Gill can come on. Indeed it is. It's Kulishevsky. And so Kulishevsky and Lenulay are off. And Brian Gill and Ben Davies are on. And Arsenal are breaking forward now with Nketiah with 2 minutes to go. Nketiah just being pushed over on the far side. Basuma plays it off Dyer, though. And it's going to be a throw into Arsenal. Level with the Tottenham 6-yard box as they now play game management with, a minute and a half left to go in this one. Kieran Tierney. Tierney is just taking his time here. He's going to be shown the yellow card with the referee if he doesn't hurry up. And Nketiah tries to take it to the corner flag. It goes out of play. Spurs fans starting to leave now. A very, very disappointing day at the office. They have been better in the second half, but defensively, Arsenal have been very solid. And when they have got inside the Arsenal defence, Aaron Ramsdale has been superb. Here is Harry Kane. Kane plays a long ball looking for Son. Still some time, perhaps. Son gets in the penalty area. And he tried to play in Perisic, and he wants to know why Perisic wasn't awake to the pass. And Perisic, I don't think, has got an excuse because he just seemed to just let it take his mind off the game, and the pass to Perisic ended up rolling through to Aaron Ramsdale in the end. 20 seconds to go here. Not sure how much injury time will be added. Definitely looks like Arsenal are going 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League tonight. Here's Nketiah, and it's been thoroughly deserved because looks like it's offside there. Free kick. Arsenal have been thoroughly deserving. They've looked every bit the Championship side. And there's going to be 5 additional minutes awarded there by the fourth official, Darren England. And it's going to be a free kick as just a quick dig with the shoulders there by Richarlison. He's got a temper himself. He has to be careful. Doesn't do when players do that, It's so pointless. And they pick up yellow cards, and yellow cards equals suspension. So, I think players need to be a bit more disciplined. Aaron Ramsdale. Special mention for him today. He's been absolutely impressive. Made several great saves to maintain Arsenal's lead. Gabriel now goes into the referee's notebook. And I'm not sure what that was for. Perhaps remonstrating. Unsportsmanlike conduct, so probably remonstrating. Ivan Perisic's first touch is a bad one there. It goes out of play off Ben White. The throw-in taken to Basuma by Perisic. Basuma slips the ball to Dyer. Dyer down this near side to Romero. I'm surprised he wasn't substituted. He must be on his last warning. Here's Gill. Brian Gill just slips the ball back to the birthday boy, Eric Dyer, and it's played across there to Lenulay. The long ball is, not Lenulay, to Ben Davies. It's launched long, but it's into the arms of Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale just trying to usher his team down the field, and you can see the Arsenal fans, they've got reason to celebrate right now. 8 points clear at the top of the table, and who would deny that they must be favourites right now to go on and win the title? Can they maintain this wonderful season that they've had so far? That remains to be seen. Here's Dyer. Dyer clears the ball forward, looking for Kane. Looks like there's a foul by Kane on Odegaard, and it will be a free kick to the Arsenal. We've played 2 minutes of the 5 now, and at this point, the game's up for Spurs. Only their 4th win in 12 years at Tottenham, but what a time to get it. Fabio Vieira and Emil Smith-Rowe are going to be coming on. You feel that this is basically just, by the time they come on, the game's going to be virtually over. You feel at this point, perhaps this is just a time-wasting exercise. Coming off is Odegaard, is one of them. And the other one is Eddie Nketiah. So Odegaard and Nketiah come off, and Fabio Vieira and Emil Smith-Rowe come on. Odegaard has been so impressive today as well, as of all of the Arsenal team. They've just been absolutely superb. Yes, they've not had the same attacking flair in the second half as they've had in the first, but they have been absolutely outstanding defensively. They've been absolutely outstanding offensively throughout this game. It really has been a complete performance by the Gunners in this game. We have a minute and a half left of stoppage time. Aaron Ramsdale takes a free kick. He aims long for the corner flag, looking for Tomiyasu. The ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. Mikel Arteta, well, once Gunners fans was pleading for Mikel Arteta to be fired. Now they're singing his name. Kieran Tierney has got the throw-in for Arsenal as we step into the closing stages of this game. Tomiyasu plays the ball all the way back, and Ramsdale just allows it to go all the way back to almost the edge of his penalty area before he clears it right-footed downfield. Smart play there by the young man. In my opinion, probably should be England's number one, but that's just my opinion, and football's an opinionated game. I'm sure that you, the listeners, might have a different opinion. But taken, throwing on the halfway line, taken by Cristiano Romero, goes back to Dyer. And he goes all the way back to Hugo Lloris, who's been disappointing today, it has to be said. He has made some good saves, but I think both of the goals have to be laid at his doorstep. It's hacked forward by Saliba, and Spurs now just playing out the last few minutes. It's nodded back to Hugo Lloris by Eric Dyer, and Lloris clears it downfield. It's flicked on by Son, looking for Richarlison, but Gabriel is there to clear it away. Spurs win it back though, and it's forward to the number 17 there for Spurs, which is Romero, and Romero finds Brian Gill. Gill cuts inside, swings across in, and Ramsdale comes out and takes it comfortably. Good goalkeeping by Aaron Ramsdale. Just plucks it out the air, gets congratulations from his teammates, and you've got to feel that once Ramsdale launches this downfield, he's picked up a bit of a knock. Once he launches this downfield, that it's going to be game over. And Ramsdale now just takes his time, clears it downfield, and that's it. Craig Pawson blows full time. Arsenal go 8 points clear at the top of the table tonight, and now must be genuine favourites for the league title. And Richarlison is getting in Ramsdale's face, and all of a sudden Gabriel is also doing the same. I'm not sure why. And a Spurs fan has attempted to get to Aaron Ramsdale. That's disgusting behaviour. He needs to be arrested. He tried to get over the fence, and it's all kicking off on the far side. And all of a sudden now, both of these teams are, I'll just stay with this, they're both getting together. A Spurs fan nearly got to Aaron Ramsdale there. I have to give credit to the security staff here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but a Spurs fan nearly got to Aaron Ramsdale. Richarlison went over as well to have a go. So did Gabriel. Not sure of the reason why or what happened. But Mikel Arteta is ushering his goalkeeper away and ushering his players away because it looks like Xhaka is going after somebody now. And, well, this is a very heated end to this display. Well done to the security staff blocking that Spurs fan from getting at Aaron Ramsdale, because that could have been a disaster. And now all of a sudden, the Arsenal players are now going over to celebrate with the Arsenal fans. This seems to have broken up now, this melee, and the Spurs players seems to have moved away. But I'm not sure what caused Aaron Ramsdale to generate the attention of Richarlison and Gabriel. Yeah, that was a dangerous incident involving the Spurs fan. But Arsenal will celebrate, going 8 points clear at the top of the table. Hugo Lloris's own goal on 15 minutes, Odegaard's on 36. They were just not able to handle our player of the match, Granit Xhaka. Of course, Aaron Ramsdale was exceptional in goal. It's full time here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is Spurs 0, Arsenal 2, and Arsenal are 8 points clear at the top tonight. You have been listening to the Commentary Hub.